it's future planning, flexibility, how to understand future growth. So it's a mix of both. And then it's forecasting a lot for future.
What is one invisible risk in these high-stakes environments that standard commercial developers often overlook until it's too late?
Yeah, so a big noticeable gap is...
Today we are joined by Shri Sew, an Associate Director at Currie and Brown with over 16 years of deep-rooted experience in the construction industry. Shri is in construction cost management and engineering, serving as an subject matter expert in high-stakes fields like aviation and data centers. Beyond his technical mastery in project controls and quality surveying, he is a dedicated leader and a mentor, currently serving as a mentorship outreach manager for PMI San Francisco Bay Area chapter. Data centers or aviation, which has the more complex cost structure?
I would definitely say aviation. It's pretty much more complex because of the number of stakeholders in the project. You got airlines, you got travelers, you have the runway staff. There's so many people that involved in a project. You got to be able to. The project doesn't just revolve around you, but it has a lot of input from designers, engineers, all sorts of people. So yeah, the complexity is much higher in an aviation project, and so is the cost.
Hello and welcome back to PMP with Prachi. Today we are joined by Shri Sew, an Associate Director at Currie and Brown with over 16 years of deep-rooted experience in the construction industry. Shri is in construction cost management and engineering, serving as an subject matter expert in high-stakes fields like aviation and data centers. Beyond his technical mastery in project controls and quality surveying, he is a dedicated leader and a mentor, currently serving as a mentorship outreach manager for PMI San Francisco Bay Area chapter. From his beginnings in South Africa, working in giant construction companies, to his current leadership role in San Francisco, Shri brings a truly global perspective to the world of building environments. With that, welcome Shri to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Thanks. So Shri, tell us something about yourself, which I couldn't find it on LinkedIn. Your journey from South Africa to US, and of course your PM journey.
So my South African journey was, I had applied for a job, not expecting to have gotten the job. However, I did get the job at my company, at the current company. They sponsored my H-1B, and that's how I came across. It was a seamless process. I didn't think it would happen so quick and so fast. Within months, I was already getting rid of my stuff back home and my apartment, and then just jumping on a plane and getting to California. PM, I did start my PM or project management experience in South Africa. I did do some PM studies there as well, but then it was not related to the Project Management Institute. It was through university, which wasn't part of the PMI Institute, but it used the principles and basis of them there. And then when I moved across to the United States is when I decided to take the PMP exam.
Mm-hmm. And so you mentioned you actually applied for your current role from South Africa.
Yes, it was my, I wouldn't say current role, but at the time it was a senior quantity surveying role, which that's what my undergrad was in. And then in the construction field. And that's what I applied for, got that. And I've been promoted twice since then in this company.
Okay, nice. So you were working in South Africa with major companies, right? Like Basil Read. So, what was the catalyst that led you to move your life and career to United States? And what was the biggest cultural shock you faced when first stepping into the construction site here in the Bay Area?
So the catalyst would have been most likely wanting to be more exposed to an international level of construction. And then with my professional ambition of growing and trying to learn, it was something I wanted to do. So I wanted to move abroad and, build my career, grow, develop. And then getting here was a strange kind of feeling because it was not familiar to me in some aspects of the industry, environment, and personal, experience. But I think the biggest challenge was facing the current environment in the U.S. Construction as a whole was slightly different. The structure around safety, compliance, and communication is something I can pick up that was really different back home to here. It was very detail orientated and collaborative between the companies and stakeholders. A lot of accountability and risk management was involved in that. Uh, these kind of things, adapting to it strengthened my approach and leadership, planning, and project control skills.
Mhm. Yeah, and you also moved from a contractor side earlier in your career to consultancy side as an associate director today. So how did that shift in perspective change how you view a project's success? Is it just still about the bottom line, or has the definition changed over time for you about value?
Yeah, moving from the construction side earlier in my career to the consultancy side, it used to be more about the bottom line and having more tangible outcomes. The delivering time, the margin was concerned, managing risks in resolving issues quickly, because it's a faster paced environment. And then now to coming to a consultancy side, the definition of value has changed or evolved. While financially the performance and cost certainty remain crucial, success is now more based on a holistic view. It's more about enabling and making more informed decisions. Uh, it's also helping the stakeholders and the client manage expectations, which is also kind of important. And then ultimately, now the bottom line still matters, but then your role as a consultant is more than just working on the contractor side, right? So you in contracting, you're just giving advice, or you're just doing what's based on site. Here, it's future planning, flexibility, how to understand future growth. So it's a mix of both, and then it's forecasting a lot for future.
Mhm. I see. And you are a subject matter expert in aviation and data centers. These aren't just buildings, these are mission critical infrastructures rather than just a normal residential building. So, what is one invisible risk in these high stakes environments that standard commercial developers often overlook until it's too late?
Yeah, so a big noticeable gap is the one between design and then the operations in reality. You'll see that a lot of architects and engineers will design stuff, but then it's not really what's going to happen on site. So you got to plan for that. Commissioning is another one. So embedded early in the project is an asset. Fail, fail. the asset can fail the mission at the moment it goes live. So you need extra time, right? So you want to have that embedded in your planning. Eliminate all assumptions or make certain assumptions that it's you will be able to, influence the decisions later on. Don't assume that people will just figure it out when you get to that point. It's pre-planning and forecasting for those risks in between.
So it must be a lot of planning ahead of time, like 80% of planning and 20% of doing, or something like that. That major part is planning, and then execution part is you just execute it, right?
Yeah, it's just having more insight and making decisions based on the relevant information you have upfront, but then also uh, forecasting for failures, right? So in case something goes wrong, have some sort of backup plan, I guess.
Okay. Okay. And you just mentioned that in your early career, you were quantity surveyor. So, with 16 years in the industry, you have seen this rise of construction technology and agile project management methodologies. So, how has the role of quantity surveyor transformed from someone just counting the costs to someone who actually drives the project transformation?
Yeah, so the role as a quantity surveyor has changed dramatically. From functional work that we used to do of counting costs, being on a construction site, the layman's term of brick counters, now has changed to be more influencing and integrated. It's more predictive analysis and information. Um, with time, the rise of construction technology, data analysts being agile, quantity surveyors are now at the center of decision making. So we use the real-time cost data, scenarios modeling, and data tools to test options quickly, support information, trade-offs, and respond to change at speed. In agile environments, we help teams pivot without losing financial controlling costs, schedules, risks, and real time. More importantly, in the modern quantity surveying, translates complexity into reality. We bridge the gap between technical teams, commercial realities, and client objectives, enabling smarter decisions across the project lifecycle. In doing so, we're no longer just protecting budgets. We're shaping the outcomes, improving the resilience, and helping projects adapt in an increasing uncertain world.
Here, I would like to shift uh, gears a bit and would like to talk about PMI San Francisco. So, you currently serve as a mentorship outreach manager for PMI San Francisco Bay Area chapter, right? Like I mentioned earlier. So, looking back at your own journey from being a student at Durban University of Technology to a leader in US, what was the moment you realized you were ready to stop being the mentee and start being the mentor?
Yeah, so the funny thing about this was that when I came here, I did join the mentorship program as a mentee, and I did 3 of the cohorts as a mentee because I felt that I didn't have a lot of the knowledge to be a mentor, and I felt that there's still a lot more for me to learn. But then, in that being said, I quickly realized that even in my role at my company, a lot of people started to approach me for more insightful information sharing and, asking me for advice on how I'm doing with my projects and the challenges I'm facing, and sharing that knowledge with them became like a learning environment. So that's when the shift from mentee to mentor happened. And when I understood that leadership is not about just having all the answers, it's about creating a safe environment and space for others to learn and thrive and grow. So it was then when I decided that, okay, it's time to move to being the mentor and not the mentee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just like coaching, all project managers are coaches. Like, you don't have to know everything or every answer, but you can guide them to
Mhm.
the right
That is,
directions. It's
yes.
similar for mentors or mentees. You navigate them, you guide them, even if you don't know the answer. You try to assist them and guide them in the right direction. So yeah, thanks for sharing that. And you also hold PMP. You mentioned earlier that after coming to US, you pursued your PMP. So what specific certification or skill do you think are the hidden gems that will make a resume stand out in the current market, especially in the field of construction? So apart from PMP, what do you think a person can have?
Okay, so there's many other like undergrad qualifications someone could have, like a civil engineering degree or a quantity surveying degree, construction management qualification. I mean, lots of people do masters in civil engineering or construction management, but then PMP is more about project management. That could be related to any industry. That is good to have, but then there's some other qualifications and skills that you could enhance with in your resume. Um, PMP is a great start. There's also digital and data influence. So, being a quantity surveyor or a cost consultant, you're gonna need to have some certification or demonstrate skills with BIM, which is building software, and then Power BI and data analytics for construction and high is a high differentiator, because you're going to be faced with a lot of data to use, and in being able to produce that in a meaningful way is really good. Then you could get other credentials, which you will, after gaining your undergrad or a master's, you could get an MRICS, which is the Royal Chartered Quantity Surveyors. You could get a CCP, which is the Certified Cost Professional, with AACE. Earn value management. There's quite a lot of qualifications out there on earn value. They are great tools to showcase that you have the skill to deal with large, complex, and mission critical projects. You could also do lean and agile delivery, because everything is now going agile. So all projects need to be able to pivot at any point with change. So having some sort of agile qualification or Scrum Master kind of role, that would be a quite good tool to have. Then you could have some risk and systems thinking tools as well. Understand risk management is important. I know PMI also has a risk qualification, or certification. You can do that. And then the last thing would be like soft skills, right? Soft skills are something nobody talks about a lot, but that just comes with experience. You could be formally trained in stakeholder management, negotiation, change leadership. Those things are important to differentiate you from other people, right? Because you're going to be faced in these scenarios. Technical excellence gets you in the door, but it's communication and influence and the soft skills that are going to get you forward.
Yeah.
So,
So,
yeah, ultimately, the strong resumes show a blend of technical credibility, digital capability, and then strategic thinking.
mhm. Okay. And I think PMI also recently introduced one of the construction certificates, right?
Yes, they did. I think it was the construction professional, the CP, PMI
Mhm.
CP. Um, uh, that is a good qualification. It is more of a program which you do for a duration, and you will learn everything about construction, and it's more for contractors, but it's also good for consultants to understand the contracting side.
Okay, I see. And you mentioned about Agile site certifications as well. So, do you think are they implementing Agile in some aspects, or yeah?
Well, traditionally, construction has been a waterfall kind of approach method, because it was design, construct, and build kind of thing. But now we've seen a lot of construction begin while design is at like 30%, and then change happen along the way. So Agile is starting to have some influence in construction. Um, we could not redesign the whole building, but there are aspects in the building that will change during the process. So yeah, it's part of it being agile.
Okay. And also for many professionals who are listening here, who are considering to move to a new country or a market, what is one piece of final advice you would like to give them to help their technical skills translate successfully across borders?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of your project management skills or construction management skills are transferable. So you can transfer them when you move across from one country to another country. Um, there are things that you're going to have to learn, like codes and contracts may change, procurement models may change. You'll find different sorts of risks. Um, and even how decisions are made may vary dramatically from one market to another. The professionals who succeed are the ones who stay curious, ask thoughtful questions, and adapt to the approach without assuming how it was done back home, and then using that as a benchmark to incorporate it now and make better decisions. Um, Earlier on, listen more and than speaking. Invest in your time in understanding local regulations, labor practices, stakeholder expectations. Be humble about what you don't know, because not everyone knows everything, but you will be able to learn through that. When you combine strong technical foundations with cultural awareness and adaptability, your skills don't just translate, they become a competitive advantage. So yeah, I'd say there's a lot of transferable skills, but then be open and willing to learn new ways of doing things.
A lot of good stuff here. Yeah, absolutely. I do agree. And having a mentor is also something which you might want to consider if you're uh, going cross country or uh, moving from
That's
moving to a new country. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. When I came here, that was part of joining the mentorship program for me.
Uh,
I was at a level thinking that I want to move higher. How do I do that? How do I approach that? I found the mentorship program, and I kind of spoke through my to my mentor the challenges I'm facing, and I would do examples in real time. So whatever I learned from my mentor, the next week I'd go and implement them, and then the following week come back and see how the reaction had changed or the outcome of the situation had changed. And yeah, that's kind of what helped me to progress and move forward and get promoted as well.
And I think in general here, people are very open to helping others and helping others grow actually. So I think uh, don't hesitate. Go approach people if you think they are uh, they can help you, and I think people are quite open to helping others as well grow. Well, that brings us to the end of the episode. Before that, I would like to have a rapid fire round with you.
Okay.
A quick rapid fire, it won't take much time. All
Sure, no
right.
problem.
The first one is you speak 4 languages. That is
Yes.
English, Hindi, Zulu, and Afrikaans. So, which is the hardest language to learn?
I would say the hardest language is Afrikaans. It's not easily spoken. It's a very unique language. It has lesser words, and then you just gotta change the spelling in some words for it to mean past tense or future tense. Sometimes you got to add words in sentences and remove words. So yeah, it's a beautiful language, and it has a lot of expression in its words and phrases, but certainly difficult to learn and understand.
Data centers or aviation? Which has the more complex cost structure?
I would say definitely say aviation. It's pretty much more complex because of the number of stakeholders in the project. You got airlines, you got travelers, you have uh, the runway staff. There's so many people that involved in a project. You got to be able to uh, rev- the project doesn't just revolve around you, but it has a lot of input from designers, engineers, all sorts of people. So yeah, the complexity is much higher in an aviation project, and so is the costs.
Absolutely. All right. What is the one thing you miss most about the South Africa construction scene?
The thing I miss the most, it's the culture of the people, because they were fun to work with. I mean, people generally in South Africa are really loving, fun going kind of people. They would have barbecues on the site, or they'll, you know, sing and dance. And it was just a different kind of vibe compared to the United States of we here to do our job, get the job done, and go back to our families. So yeah, that's what I miss the most, because there it's more of a family culture of loving and sharing kind of thing.
And it's also nostalgia and where you grew up. So probably that's kind of a bias. All right. The biggest myth about quantity surveying.
Yeah, the biggest myth would be that it's easy. It's not. I think that it's very complex. You need to know a lot of different things, a little of a lot of different things, I'd say, because quantity surveyors are not just working in construction. We deal with legal contracts as well a lot. So you got to know construction law well. We deal with accountants, so you got to know CPA, counting practices and laws. You got to know economics. You got to know construction itself. You got to know all sorts of designs: electrical, mechanical, civil, structural. Then you got to know the industry you're in. There's material, there's plant, there's labor, codes, resources. The labor department will have certain things that rates that you got to pay. So there's a lot of things that you need to learn from and put all of that together. So yeah, it's not that simple, but it's very fulfilling.
Okay, cool. And Final question, one piece of tech that will change construction in the next 5 years.
Sorry, one piece of tech.
Yeah, something like AI or what's going to change, you think, in next 5 years?
It's hard to say because it needs to change like the mindset of the industry. AI may be of an assistance to our industry in construction, but it may not take over all of the roles or a role. The people and human aspect is still going to be there. It may enhance our jobs and the work we do, but I still think that the people, the aspect of construction and people doing the construction is going to stay.
Apart from PMP, which is one certificate you would recommend?
Apart from PMP, oh wow, I would say get something in like people skills. It's dealing with people. If you understand people and they understand you, you know how to communicate with people. You're gonna get the information you need, and you're gonna be able to do the work you want to do.
Yeah, be it any industry, soft skills works everywhere, and especially as a project manager, you need to have soft skills, and especially the communication part.
Yes.
All right, Shri. Thank you so much for sharing your story today and sharing your insights with us. Um, it was absolute pleasure having you on the show. For our listeners, if you want to follow Shri's work and learn more about his insights into mission critical infrastructure like data centers and aviation, you can connect with him on LinkedIn. You can also find his volunteering work at mentorship outreach as a mentorship outreach manager for the PMI SF chapter. And thank you for tuning in, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.